Yeah,
All
see?
right. It only
From
took 24 minutes to figure out how to do this.
Google the command. There we
Yeah.
go.
The power of the Google. All righty.
Oh,
Well, welcome to the Loose Screws podcast. This is about as close as we're going to get to old Blooming Wind doing his best Spalding Gray impersonation, but this is going to be more like the Tonight Show with Johnny Carson and Ed McMahon, with Oblivious in the Ed McMahon role.
yeah. How'd you guess that? That was my role. Yeah.
Well, you're shy.
Yeah.
So, yeah. All righty. So, this is going to be a little bit of a different version of the podcast because we're not going to allow the Christmas holidays to ruin, be carried forward into January because, you don't want to get in that habit of not doing the podcast. And then if you get in the habit of not doing the podcast doesn't happen. And then, we're stuck with this Lave Radio going forward with nothing else to listen to. So, all righty. So, how are you doing, Oblivious? Because everybody loves the what we did all week portion of the show.
Oh, wait. We need the show number and the date.
Oh, wait, no, I thought we did like a cold open first, and then we would kind of get into that after
Oh,
that.
okay.
I guess
You're
we could do it
mixing
this
it.
way.
Yeah.
I'm mixing it up. I mean, if you're going to leave me in charge, I mean, things are going to be done probably wrong. So,
Yeah, but I'm going to just keep dragging you back to the way we do it.
okay. All right. That's why I have you here. Because otherwise, God only knows what would happen. I mean, I might start talking about ASP scouts or something.
0 days.
0 days. All righty. So, okay. So we'll do the week and then we'll do the open. So, so tell me about your week, Oblivious.
Oh, there hasn't been a lot of, well, let's go back. Let's go real life. Real life,
Yep.
I'm having fun building what I hope is not my last gaming computer. It's actually been 5 years since I built a gaming computer, and I'm now building one. And I wanted to build it 2 years ago, but decided I would hold off watching GPU prices, hope they would get somewhere close to MSRP again, which they did. But unfortunately, RAM went in the other direction. So net, I ended up saving nothing, waiting 2 years. But that's going on. It's going a little slow. Working with the case manufacturer, Haven, which I'm really impressed with this case, but they sent the wrong fans. So I'm waiting on those. I can't really go any further until I get the fans. So I'm looking forward to getting that finish set up and booted up. And it should be a drastic enough change considering where I'm coming from. So that'll be fun.
What kind of GPU are you putting in?
It's going to be a 5080.
50. Oh,
5080
nice.
Paired with 9800 X3D. So
cool. And how much
maybe the
RAM?
last one I build, but it should hold me.
Like
that's what cost me.
4 gigs of RAM, maybe?
Yeah, 64.
Wow.
Yeah, 60. When I first looked at it, it was about 129. When I bought it, it had gone up $100, and now if I went to buy it, it would be almost $350 above what I looked at before.
Oh, Lord. Yeah. I mean, I looked, there was a place I used to buy RAM when I used to buy RAM for my open architecture Macs back in the day. And I looked at some prices there for what I would need to get to put in my current PC. And I was like, holy shnikes. I mean, they weren't kidding about the prices because I saw some things about the prices. And then I was like, let me go to my secret cheap place. And I'm like, it's just as bad.
Yeah.
It's like when it's like when the gas prices go up, even at Costco, you're paying more than you would be paying when it was cheap. So
yep. It's concerning. It's hitting the SSDs too. I'm really, really worried about all the folks that are out there that supply the custom PC industry.
Yeah.
They were worried about tariffs. Now look at this. This is going to be something because
yeah. Now this isn't a tariff thing, is it?
No.
Is it just all the AI demand?
This is supply and demand and it's AI that's sucking it all up. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's
that's
see.
exciting. That's exciting. You're building your own PC. I haven't been that bold yet. So
Yeah, this will be about how many have I built? I've built probably 8 or 9 systems for myself and people. So yeah, I enjoy it. It's a lot of fun.
yeah,
Now let's see, in game. I haven't done a lot. The only thing I did in game was get past the 75% threshold in the uh, CG, which I actually did before last podcast, and now I've just been keeping an eye on it. And I'm still good. I might drop another 2 or 3 thousand tons just to make sure I stay in that bracket.
yeah.
But
I gotta empty my fleet carrier tonight. So
yeah,
yeah, I have I'm gonna be probably around 6,500, and I'm hoping that's enough. If I get twitchy, I might go and find some stuff nearby to drop there. But
well,
you know,
let's look at that real quick. So there's one day, 14 hours left. And right now, the bottom threshold for 75% is 5,688.
Ugh. I think 1,000 might be just looking at the law of averages. Yeah, it's gonna be tight. I might do an extra run or so.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm emptying my fleet carrier in my normal Panther clipper for hauling, not my load and unload the fleet carrier, because that one is just a piece of tissue paper with a bunch of cargo racks. So, you know, when you got 1,304 tons, I mean, that would be great. But, you know, I'm like, I want a shield. I want guns. I want, you know, an SLF just to keep myself from getting murdered. So,
Well, I get it, but I've managed not to not to get pulled. I mean, the most hollow squares I've seen when I've been running has been other haulers. But I think that's because I did most of my hauling in between 10 and 1 Eastern Standard Time.
AM?
So, you know, Europe
AM?
is PM. So, well, 10 a.m. to 1
Okay.
p.m. Yeah. And so
Yeah.
Europe is either at dinner or going home from work, and the U.S. is at work. So that's probably just an off-peak time because I haven't been harassed by anybody out there. So knock on wood.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I'm the opposite, where I'm like 10 p.m. till I'm too tired to fly.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's like kind of when the people are waking up in the United Kingdom. So
Yeah.
who knows? I mean, we had a few night owls in the United States who've murder hoboed me too. So,
What
yeah, so we'll
about
see.
you? Real life,
Oh, real life's
any
been,
cool hospital news? Yeah.
yeah. So, Dr. Mrs. Dr. Bloomingwind has got accepted a job,
All
which is
right.
very exciting. She's been not working since March, when Blue Cross Blue Shield let her go and let her entire department go. Um, you know, and then her dad was sick and everything. So she's
Mhm.
just kind of was like puttering along and all that kind of stuff, and doing a lot of, you know, taking care of the home fires. And she is going to be the director of nursing for a behavioral health company that specializes in um, eating disorders. And so she'll be director of nursing. They have 2 residential facilities in Nashville, and they have a clinic in Nashville. And then so when the patients leave the hospital, they transition to residential care for a while before going home, just to make sure that, you know, after they, you know, after they've, you know, been getting, you know, their physical health righted, that they're in a good space when they're going back out in the real world. So she's excited about it. I'm excited about it for her. That's really cool. We're dealing with a couple of dramatic patients over at the main campus. Don't really want to get into either of those because, you know, I really don't want to get into those. But Yeah. So, in other news, my employers gave me a raise, which was
Hey,
really cool. Yeah, that was really exciting. So, um,
wait,
uh,
your employer the federal government?
well, I have two employers.
Okay.
So there's like a little cost of living increase from the federal government. So I got a
Yeah.
little, that was fine. And then my other employer gave us a cost of living adjustment too. But the bigger thing is that the other employer um, has a new compensation plan for the positions.
Hmm.
And the new compensation plan, they're going to be winners and they're going to be losers. And because also work at the VA, the way that it was previously structured, everything was based on a 60-hour week at my one institution, and then the VA sees everything as a 40-hour week. And so, because of that, originally, a long time ago, most of the doctors that were working at the VA were physician scientists. So they got most of their money from grants,
Yeah.
and as opposed to getting most of their money from seeing patients.
Yeah.
So everything was structured in a way to allow them to maximize the amount of grants they could get. And so basically, at the academic institution side, you could pretty much kind of pick your work week hours wise for structuring your grants. So when I was actually doing science, I had a 68-hour work week to allow me to have 3/8 of a full-time equivalent at the VA and have keep my grants, as opposed to having
Hmm.
to go into 2/8 or 1/8, what most people did.
Hmm.
Um, and so when you're a clinician, which a lot more of the physicians at the VA became full-time because the clinicians over the years, um, what ended up happening was that because of this 40-hour work week, 60-hour work week difference, the way that your VA pay got counted against your base salary at the other institution, there was a little bit of something got lost in the shuffle. Especially since most people were given 20% scholarly time on there. Like all the clinicians got like 20% scholarly time on there that was just kind of spotted to them. So anyway, so it was kind of a complicated equation. So they rejiggered the complicated equation to have less to first of all just to uncouple the VA from the academic medical center. So you don't have to report what you're making going forward at the VA to make sure that your base salary stays constant.
Hmm.
Because it used to be your base salary is guaranteed for the year. It still is. But what was happening is so if you increase your time at the VA, your paycheck from the other place goes down. Or if your
Yeah.
time at the VA shrunk,
They would adjust it.
the other place was on the hook for it. You know.
Right.
So basically, it was just kind of it protected your downside, which was nice, and it's still nice. But anyway, so what happens is that because they kind of straightened everything out, everyone who works at the VA gets a raise because of that 40-hour, 60-hour thing got taken out of the
Hmm.
equation. So
Hmm.
I found out the other day that getting a raise.
Good deal.
Yeah, now if I can get up to associate professor, then I get another bonus. So, but but it's cool. So yeah, so it's very exciting. So that was my real life week. And my spaceship week has been, or more than a week, has been a little bit of CGing currently. Before that, I was working on my installations in New Screw Space. I'm working on Blooming Winds Folly, which is the mining colony that got this area of space started. And so I'm trying to get all the pieces of the puzzle so I can then build an asteroid base in that system. So I have an installation that's almost complete. I have a planetary base that's just getting started, and then I'll have to figure out whatever else I need in order to get the asteroid base. So that's a lot of fun. And that's what I've been up to in a game.
Right.
So that should take us to what's going on in the podcast, this is episode 315 for the 15th of January, 2026, or 33/012.
33? 12-in? Yes, 12-in.
Yeah, 12-in. It's going to just get more perverted next year with the 13 somehow completely muddled and botched up and all that kind of good stuff.
I'm really curious out of all of that where tracks will have inserted the music.
Yeah. I think he may have to listen to it to figure out where to put the music.
Yeah, well, that could be a problem.
Yeah. So I'll let him figure it out.
All right.
So that gets us to let's see, that's the intro.
Always broken
Here we go.
stuff.
Yeah.
And you went silent. Well, I guess I have to vamp here because Blooming Wind has disappeared. And we're talking
you didn't hear the squadron briefing music?
No, I didn't.
Oh, I just played the squadron briefing music.
Yeah.
Which I guess was
Yep, I told you those soundboards has changed. It doesn't work for you. No soundboards.
Okay. So anyway, squadron briefing. All right. So we are now in 382 systems and controlling 115 systems. The biggest issue we have is that there's a lot of shenanigans that's been going on in Alexandrinus. We're still in charge at 22.3%, but there are two factions locked at 22%, and then two other factions locked up. So we could very slowly pull away from the squadron with the faction with 13%, but someone wants that system, and I don't know why. I think they're honest brokers, though. I don't think they're any sort of sinister. I think they're just there, and they're like, I wants it. And then other than that, I mean, people are just kind of screwing around and doing things. BGS is still broken.
Very much.
But the biggest broken thing seems to be that when conflict zones start, they never go away in certain systems. So there are certain systems that have hundreds of conflict zones, and potentially every permutation of conflict that ever happened in the time since in the last year. So
yeah, I think it's important to kind of break that down, because we have been folks been saying BGS is working. Yeah, it is still a mixed bag. We have seen you are able to move sub-factions through some of the old levers like you used to, which that had been broken for a while. That seems to be working, especially if you're in a new colonized system. It absolutely, we know it works for sure. But yeah, you're right on the conflicts. There's a couple different flavors there. There's the conflicts that never end, but then there's the two flavors that I've been calling the ghost conflicts, where there's conflicts in the system, but they don't show up in an aura. They don't show up on the nav panels. They don't show up anywhere. The days aren't being counted at all. And then we have the ghost systems that are crazy, that have up to 100 conflicts.
Yeah. So Myola is one of those, because Myola seems to behave completely normally, other than the fact that they have like 100 conflict zones still in the system.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems to me like that system's working otherwise. And I haven't been paying too much attention, but I haven't really seen the ones where the conflict gets locked and it stays there for eternity since the most recent fixes. But I haven't been paying attention, so I could be completely wrong on that.
I'd be interested to know, I mean, if you're out there and you're wanting to work on your combat rank, then going into conflict zones, what is it, the mediums, conflicts, and then going after the, what do they call the special patrols that come through there?
Spec Ops.
Spec Ops, thank you.
Yeah.
taking out spec ops, that'll help you rank up. But what I don't know is if that works in these ghost conflict zones. Maybe somebody can test that and let us know.
All right. So that is our squad update. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, because I heard like really big, really dead air, and sometimes my firewall does some weird things. All right, so that gets us to the PP report, and there is no PP report as far
I
as I
think we
know.
can say that this one is truly short.
Yes. So, oh no, we
Back.
got rankings. I went to the website. That Kruger just didn't update us in our Discord. So, okay. So by the Kruger rankings, let's see, which ones do we like? Do we like the Kruger rankings? I like the Kruger rankings.
Just go with Kruger.
All right. Yeah. So, Princess Only Feats is leading with 56 points. Li Yang Rui is second. Gosai Kappa Omega, brother. The Empress is third with 46 points. Mahan is fourth with 40. And then everyone else is behind all of us. And so what's been going on as far as total systems for the week, Kane got 14 systems, acquired 13 and fortified 1. Lavini Duval, the Empress, has 5 total new points, 4 fortified and 1 stronghold. Again, Princess Feats lost 2 systems, but fortified 2, and 2 more strongholds. And then Li Yongrui lost 2 systems and fortified 3 and got 1 stronghold. So those are kind of the highlights. Do we care about any of the other factions?
Well, it's interesting to see now 2 weeks in a row, Rui has come on strong. And of course, we were theorizing there, and I think this helps prove it, that since we got kicked out of the Enclave, we've refocused back on Ruri space, and so that's probably why we're so high up in the numbers.
Yeah.
And probably will stay that way. Well, we'll definitely stay that way. Now the news has come out that the Enclave is going to pause for a little bit, or will some folks, since it's paused, come out and concentrate on their home turf. We'll have to watch and see what happens there.
Yeah. So tell us more about that. What is going on with that, as far as you know? Because it's limited information, since we're all kind of shut out of the Li Rui peeps.
There's a Galnet news that's come out. I'm looking at the transcripts, and the gist of it is the 7 remaining of the 12 that are in the Enclave have chosen to call it a truce for 2 weeks. And where's the particular phrase that I'm saying? Let me find that again. I lost it. Attempts to undermine systems officially will be put on hold. And so we were talking, okay, what do they mean by official? So what we think is going on there is, like, Rui, when we were still part of the Enclave, you could go in and you could do undermining, and you could make significant impact. Once we got kicked out of the Enclave, you could still go in to the Enclave and undermining, but it was minuscule. Your efforts versus your results were pretty minuscule. So I think basically the lever that they're pulling there is the same thing for all of the rest of the powers that are in there. You can still go in and undermine other powers, but it's going to be the quote unquote the unofficial / non-frontline type of minuscule undermining that would be going on. So they're doing that for 2 weeks. No winners or losers forecasted in the foreseeable future.
A bunch of kissing your sister.
And what do we think about that?
I don't like deals. I come from the Daxi school of hating deals in power play, because, I mean, honestly, I mean, I love the Sturm und Drang of, that sort of pitched battle of, trying to get these systems, trying to fight these systems back. I mean, I think FDev needs to kind of still find the right balance of, activities to allow undermining versus reinforcement. I think they're getting closer and closer over time. But I just think that there have been some times where it's just like trying to undermine somebody has been like climbing uphill. It was, this just hurt a Sisyphusian task where I'm just rolling the boulder up and it gets rolled back down. And I think we saw it in, some of it in the Yang Rui thing when we had one last system, and it was just everyone decided, okay, you pulled off a delaying it 1 week, but we're going to nuke you from orbit at the last minute. There's nothing you can do about it. So yeah, so that's fine, but it's just, I think it's, you both feel like you're making progress when you're working it.
Is it possible that they've done this because of Distance World 3 kicking off, which...
I mean, maybe. I mean, I think that there's some of it is that they don't. I think they're more interested in that they want the community goal going. I think everyone wants those cargo racks, and so I think some of them are like, we don't want somebody who doesn't care about cargo racks to sneak attack us or what have you. But yeah, I mean, I think some of it might have to with the Distant Worlds 3.
Wait a minute, but the cargo racks are the community goal.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I think I think there's some, pausing because people want to do this community goal in particular to get the cargo racks, and I think other people. I mean, maybe it's just some of it is just a Distant Worlds 3. People want to participate at least for a week, so not so Distant Worlds for some of them.
Well, I can get that for the CG, but that'll finish up. It finishes up, and then I
2
think
days.
World 3 kicks off Sunday.
Yeah.
This Sunday, so that works. But no, my thought was, because they know the numbers that have signed up for Distance World 3. Are they pausing the Enclave stuff to allow for Distance World 3? Where that doesn't make sense, though, is Distance World 3 is supposed to last, 4 months? So that doesn't make any sense.
No, but it's 6,800 players for 69, almost 7,000 commanders are participating.
They're signed up for that?
Yeah, because you got a couple of alts. Maybe there's like 170 alts.
Yeah.
All of which are Alex's, from what I understand. So.
But you're Alex, yeah.
Yeah, he has a few alts. There's a whole thing on Lave this week about them talking about
folks.
who has alts, who doesn't have alts. For the record, I do not have an alt, probably because I don't know how to. Honestly, because haven't figured out how to alt. I think I have a free account that I haven't exploited yet. So, to that effect, one of those epic accounts. So I'd have to figure out how to do that. Yeah, I might kind of fly out and, check some of it out. I might go to the next waypoint, go to the first couple of waypoints or something. But I signed up for it. But how distant and how world I'll be, we shall see. Because most of us did distant screws, and I kind of just
now see that's where I could see if you had an alt account. You could do that. You could go park a ship on a carrier.
Yeah.
With your alt account and jump on it every once in a while. That reminds me, that was something else that Lave was talking about. And they were talking about the warning of making sure if you ship one of your ships, you move one of your ships through transit, that once you get it, make sure you take off from wherever you shipped it to, and land again. Otherwise, if you go to the rebuy screen, you're not going to go back to that particular landing place. You're going to go back to the place where you shipped it from. All that's correct, but I think they were a little confused if that worked for fleet carriers. And yes, it does absolutely work for fleet carriers. In fact, that was pretty standard operating procedure for AXI if you were participating in any of that activity. What you usually ran into is the system where you were fighting, it was full of carriers and you couldn't get your carrier close.
Yeah.
So you'd get into an adjacent system and maybe transfer some ships to a fleet carrier that were in system, not yours, but somebody else's. But yeah, you had to do the same thing. Once it arrived, you need to take off and land again to make sure you're going to show up back in that carrier in the system, as opposed to going back to where you transferred your ships from.
Yeah.
None of that. I don't know of anybody. I haven't talked to anybody on our Discord that's doing Distance World 3.
Thought somebody was, but I forget who it was. Yeah, like I said, I'm just dipping my toe in the Distant World water. Yeah, I guess not because I'm worried about missing something specifically in the bubble. It's just I have my new Screw Space projects I wanted to get back and working on. So,
yeah. I'm just not. I haven't been big on exploration. Every time I think I'm going to go do about it, I think about the time I'm going to invest versus what's going on back in the bubble. I get the FOMO, and so now I've got the operations FOMO. Although the way operations has been described so far, it seems like it's almost sounds like a CQC type setup where it doesn't matter what you're doing in the real game, but we don't know for sure. So I'm using that as my excuse not to go with Distance World 3. I want to see what's going to happen with operations.
Yeah, the operations is going to be interesting. I mean, I have not been an on-foot guy. So, I mean, I tried to do the CG with the plant gunning. And since I don't know how to plant gun, apparently you need to find 3 spots far enough away from each other that they have what's called genetic diversity. And by the time I realized that, I ran out of oxygen and then I couldn't get back to my ship and I died. And I only scanned 2 piles of bacteria. Now, I could have tried it again, but I was like, you know what, screw it. I'm not in the mood. Because I've just not been an on-foot guy. So I'll try it again at some point in the future. But, the whole thing was just unappealing to me from the first, what do you call it? The first orientation thing.
Yeah.
I couldn't turn on my damn flashlight because
you don't know it's a torch.
I didn't know it's a torch, and so because I don't speak English.
I'm pretty much the same way. And if I'm going to go do a first-person shooter, I can think of several games out there that does it better. But I do enjoy doing it with squad mates. And so I think this has the potential, it's being advertised, I have the potential to be able to do it with squad mates. If it does, then I'll get into it. If it doesn't, then I'll probably just keep flying my spaceship.
So, I mean, I think you could be like air support for some of those. I mean, not running around a, what do you call it?
And
mega
there
ship,
again, you would be doing it with your mates, right?
Yeah,
so,
exactly. Drop a bunch of ground bombs on a bunch of enemy positions. Sounds like a lot of fun to me. So, strafe mining. But, so, all right. We don't know anything about anything that's going to be happening with FDev in the near future. Everything's been kind of radio silent, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty standard for this time of year. You typically don't hear anything until towards the end of February.
So, we got to wait till Ash Wednesday or something? Is it the whole time between Christmas and Ash Wednesday is Carnival?
And bank holidays, yeah.
Yeah, so.
Yeah.
We do it wrong over here. I'm just grinding away. So, all right. What else is going on in this world? Okay. Any There's no Galnet news.
Other than what just came out.
Oh, what just came out?
That the ceasefire.
Oh, the ceasefire.
Yeah, which we talked about.
Yeah, but that's not on Galnet. That's on Phoenix to Fire's show. But actual Galnet news, there's been nothing. So since the 8th, just since the Distant Worlds, I'm going to keep saying Distant Worlds CG, which is going to end Friday, tomorrow, Saturday.
Yeah.
So
the community goal, right? Yeah.
Yeah, the community goal. All right.
Yeah, 2 days.
All right. Anything else going on with dev news? Is there any sort of sales in the store?
I would have had to look to know that, but I don't think so.
You'd have to know. You don't think so? Let's see. Cosmetics. Let's go find out. There's a game store sale. Seems like the prestige paint jobs are on sale. If you need something in some sort of fun color, 2,500 arcs. So you could buy 2 paint colors for the same price. You could rename your station whatever you want. So
I remember the day you could get those for 1,600 orcs.
Yeah. So
neither here nor there.
Yeah, there's nothing else. None of the star system, none of the colonization stuff is on sale. That's what they need to do. Is they need to kind of put some of the paint jobs for the space stations on sale. That would be really cool. Yeah, but nothing else there other than prestige paint jobs. They're not bad. All right. Any other news going on in the Elite universe that we're aware of? I'm not aware of anything. I think just the doldrums of January. So
got associated with Distance World 3, there's some pretty fun, I hear they're pretty fun, I haven't done them, SRV time trials out there.
Cool.
Give that
Where can I find them? Where can we find them?
Where can you find them?
The EDCoPilot. We also have a link in the show notes to the video the video to learn the track and then go racing with your friends. So I think that's everything. It's just it's a slow news week.
It's slow news week, and when you only have 2 podcasters here, there's just not a lot of fill.
Not a lot of fill. We tried. And I can guarantee you that after this, Trax will never let me host again. So I might even have the podcast channel blocked from me. Somehow my privileges are going to get revoked. So, all righty. Do you have anything else to add?
Tell them where they can find us.
All righty. Well, you guys can find us at our Discord, the Loose Screws Discord. The link is in the show notes. Our website is loosescrewsed.com, loosescrewsed.com. And we have merch. I don't know if anyone's bought any merch in a while. We got merch. And then we have a Patreon. Support our Patreon. And all of the proceeds goes to supporting our squadron mates. Daxi got a Christmas present, and more of a hernia present than a Christmas present. But, happy hernia, Daxi. So he told you all about it last week. So it's not a HIPAA violation for me to tell you about it because he already told us. So, that's what we got. And maybe next week there'll be a real podcast with real podcasters. So for Oblivious and I, Old Commander Blooming Moon, we say thank you, and hopefully you made it through the podcast with us. Have a good night.
Play the outro music.
All right. That's a wrap.